Mom, why won't you let me watch the
Dexperience.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dexperience.
Coming right at you.
Hey.
Hi,
Dex.
hi, Dexter.
Hi, Dexter.
What's up, my sweet summer children?
I hope you're having a wonderful time wherever you are in this
Yeah.
crazy world.
Dexperience.
What? I do. I legitimately do hope everyone's having
Hi,
a
Dexter.
I know, I feel like he got ulterior motives there.
No.
How are we all doing? How's everyone?
Yeah, Dax says, how you doing? Good.
Oh, great to
When did this
hear.
become Dora the Explorer?
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
I'm still recovering from this mentally from a story I did.
Yeah, I am also doing the same thing.
Now people are gonna ask about
I didn't
the
know we were
story.
going there.
We're
but-
not. I thought we shouldn't talk about the
I think
story.
it's having an impact on
Oh, my performance today.
on my thoughts and performance. I just don't quite know how to articulate how
I'm doing well. Yes, it's going well. Having a good day. Here with some friends. Here to talk about
How
Pokemon.
you feel?
Awesome.
You sounded a little bit less hungover in this
Yeah.
episode.
I feel like I woke you up a bit.
I had a coffee. I had some chocolate. I had some food.
He's alive. He's alive.
I'm way more alive.
I'm
than I was last
glad.
episode.
I'm glad.
Sorry.
You know what? I feel like we're all glowing. You know,
Brightness.
we're all like.
That's what
I
lights
think
do.
it's the orange lights on
It is. It is a lot of the lights, but also we're vibing.
We are in fact vibing.
So
Check.
did we say our names? So Logan.
Yeah, I'm Logan.
No, you're Dennis.
Okay.
I'm Logan.
I'm Dennis.
Oh, really? Why do we say our names?
I don't know
Because
why keep
we
saying
gotta
it.
say our names, Oliver. Because if
This
people,
is like what? I think this is episode number 30.
like, if someone's like being like, "Oh, I should listen to Dexperience," they won't go to
I'm
the
Oliver.
First... You're not.
I'm Harry,
Oh my god.
and you're watching Dexperience.
Whoa. Okay.
Now, this episode, everyone, is Dig Those
Diglett, Diglett.
Trio.
That has been in my mind for
That's
the
been-
last 15,
Yeah.
16 years
It's been
or
in
so.
my mind since 1999.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like they use it.
I wasn't born.
They do like it shows
Wow.
up in the movie as well, or in the,
does,
in the
yeah.
Pikachu's vacation short.
Mm-hmm.
Which if we ever do, we got to watch them together, of course. The short
No.
and then the movie, because that's how it was on the VHS.
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 Hey, what's the game today, guys?
We're going to play a game. It's like a mystery game.
Dennis, do you want to explain?
Oh
You
yes.
did a great job, Luke.
In this game,
Mystery game?
it's called Pokemon Mystery Whodunit.
Dungeon.
I guess.
Pokemon
in this
Mystery
game,
Dungeon.
it's a collaborative game where someone leaves a room or
It's a collaborative game where someone leaves.
We kicked someone out of the room.
and
Collaboration.
then they do the podcast and they don't and they
They
call them
forgot.
back in afterwards.
We just forget.
Harry just had some water and he's trying not to spit it out. Are you alright, Harry? Okay.
Yeah, so someone leaves the room.
Wow. Okay.
Someone leaves
So
the
someone leaves the room,
Yes.
and then they have to come up with a Pokemon, a place, and a crime.
Yeah.
And then those three are like Officer Jenny's.
Well,
And
the
the-
three of us come up with the crime, not the person
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
kicked out.
Those three come up with the crime as Officer Jenny's, and then they interrogate the suspect, and the suspect has to nail down what Pokemon they are, what crime they committed, and their place. I mean, maybe we should have
Where
a
the
timer
crime.
as well.
No, I feel like they just get one guess for
One
each
guess?
thing, and
Yeah.
then they have to get at least 2 out of the 3, or they will lose.
Something.
Okay, so like they have to kind of have a final sentence then. Like I am a, like, for example, if you're a Psyduck at Viridian City who
Did tax evasion.
did tax evasion, you'd be like, I am Psyduck who is in Viridian City who committed tax evasion.
Yeah, and then that would be 3 out of 3. But if you only got 1 out of 3,
You lose.
You lose.
Okay,
Should have
so
a punishment.
Dennis-
Oh, you have to eat one of the Mountain Dew Doritos.
Oh my
Oh.
god. We tried those Mountain Dew Doritos. They taste so
Awful.
bad, and there goes our Mountain Dew and Doritos sponsorship.
I'm okay with that.
But it's fine. Yeah, they taste
Go
really
back
bad.
to Wookie 9288.
Yeah, so I guess since I'm like closest to the door, I'll leave.
Yeah.
And
You live.
But-
Coming at you live in the power of the internet.
don't get up to any mischief while I'm gone.
No promises.
No worries.
Oh, what do we say?
Oh, Dennis, you fell over.
Did you just knock all the cords? You didn't knock any cords out, did you?
Dennis, interesting
it's
choice to
fine.
wear a kilt.
All right, we'll tell you when to come back in.
If the camera bumps, we'll fix it.
So
We promise.
what we're gonna do is we're actually not gonna tell him to come back in, and we're just gonna
We're just
continue.
gonna record the
Okay,
episode, guys.
dig those Diglets.
Dig those
Okay,
Diglets.
so yeah, how did it start?
So we
the
open
Pokemon
on the
team
game.
is lost somewhere in the mountains, and they're looking at a map.
Yeah.
And in the middle, I think is Fuchsia City in the middle of the
Okay,
mountain.
You see, like above one of the mountains, but I don't know which
And
mountain
they-
it
Are
is.
they in the middle of the mountain?
middle of the
The
mountains.
map, by the
Yeah.
way, what an awful map.
I
Oh,
know,
that
right?
map
It's just
was
like a
awful,
little
yeah.
town, and they're like, how do they not know where they're coming from as well? Like,
It's ridiculous,
and they have
isn't
to pick one of.
Okay, let's
One of five or
let's
six.
do the game. Okay. I'm thinking.
I'm thinking. I don't know.
I'll just become an ASMR.
What about
Like,
what if we did Maractus? The cactus Pokemon.
oh, what about Vanilla Ice?
Vanillish.
Is that a Vanilla?
Let's do.
Vanillish and
We could do the starting one Vanillite.
Vanillite.
yeah, Vanillite. And they are in they're in a volcano.
A volcano. What's a volcano in Pokemon? Mount Stark.
Oh, the island in Kanto.
Oh yeah. What's it
Was
called?
it Cinnabar Island?
Yeah, Cinnabar Island.
Cinnabar Island.
Island.
Vanillite. Cinnabar. The crime they committed was.
Right, is it a volcano?
There's a volcano on the island, so it counts. It'll work.
It's
It'll
fine.
work.
It's fine. It's fine. And then what do? They
Something about them being. They melted and made the floor all slippery.
Melted and made the floor slippery.
Yeah, and someone like fell over and died.
Someone broke their neck. It's like
Someone broke their neck.
unmelted vanillite. I like it.
That's okay.
So
Okay,
for
should we
the
skip-
listeners, that is a vanillite in Cinnabar Island whose crime was melting and causing somebody to slip and break their neck.
can be causing ash.
Ash to break his neck.
Okay, Ash broke his neck.
Dennis,
You can come back in.
Dennis, we can come back in.
you're ready, sir.
Get ready to be interrogated.
So,
Ah!
you
you
sick
filthy,
You
filthy creature.
huh?
huh?
You good, disgusting.
You
Pokemon.
murderous
Wow.
swine.
All
Who do
right.
you think
okay.
you are?
Who do you think
bastard?
you are?
I mean, I tried my best.
People like you disgust me. How'd you reform, huh?
Yeah, how did you manage to reform yourself?
Exactly. Yeah.
I have my ways.
Yeah. What's your ways? How did you do it?
I kind of was like, hey, over there, come over here, and I reformed.
Was it the heat that made you?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
the heat?
What were you even doing in a place like that? You know.
Yeah, your kind don't belong in a
Yeah,
place
you're
like that.
kind. You're kind.
Okay. I do. That's okay.
Your kind don't belong in a place like that.
Didn't you know what would happen? Happened. What
Yeah.
happened?
You would think, you know, if you mix two, you know.
You're already quite a controversial Pokemon.
If you
and
know
to be in a
that
place
some-
like that,
If
it
you know
makes it
that,
even worse.
yeah, it's so hot. Didn't you know that would happen?
Yeah.
Reform. What? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
So was it your plan all along?
Huh?
Hmm? Have
Was it premeditated? Hurt this poor boy like that?
Go to this hot place.
you know the victim? You know, neck damages, crazy.
Mm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're
Must
not
have known.
possibly going to be able to fix him.
With a body like yours going to such a hot place that
Yeah.
you'll cause damage.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what were you even doing on that?
Get all
island?
over the floor.
You're not even-
You knew that.
You're
What
not
were
even
you-
from that region.
Yeah, what were you doing on that island? You know,
Yeah.
It's a hot island.
it's a
Hot
very
island.
hot island.
Hold on.
You better
What
report.
were
You
you
better
doing
report a
there?
burn heel.
You're not even. Yeah, you're not from there, is he?
He's
No.
not from there. Too.
Wait, where's your kind from?
Where is it from?
How much do we see?
No, that's good. I reckon say where it's from. Where are they originally from?
How did you come all the way from Unova?
How'd you come all the way from Unova, huh?
I have no. I only Nova.
Hmm?
I don't.
You're a damn novelty, aren't you?
Novelty.
Something different, aren't you?
Yeah.
Something different.
Controversial.
Controversial.
Not very
Well,
well liked amongst the
controversial.
community.
Controversial little guy, aren't
Officer
you?
Harry here does not like you.
I do not like you.
Yeah.
Talked about it in the last episode.
I
how
did
he
talk
does
about it in
not
the
like
last
you.
episode.
Okay.
You go to this hot place and you just get all over the floor and you cause
Cause damage to
It's
that
a
young
Friday
boy.
night.
cause
Yeah.
damage to that young poor boy.
I hope you're not causing damage to young boys on
Oh my
Friday
god.
night.
And then somehow you reform.
You
I
should have
reformed.
known that the state you were in, that you would have
Caused
fallen
damage.
apart and caused such a crime.
Some would say you melted.
I
melted.
Oh.
Some would say.
One would say
Oh.
melted.
You know what? I think we can conclusively say
Hey,
that
you
you
melted!
melted.
And hurt a poor boy.
You were just all over the place, and this boy was just walking along.
Just doing his
And-
Pokemon. On his Pokemon journey.
Okay. I think I know
Him and his companions.
you. Okay. I think I know what you're accusing me of.
You're in this hot place.
Okay.
What are we accusing you of, sir?
Tell us what you've done.
You're accusing me of. You're accusing myself of Vanillite. That for pushing a boy into a lava pit at Cinnabar Island.
That was
I
cool.
mean, you got 2 out of 3.
Two out of three.
You got 2 out
What
of
was
3.
it? What was it?
You were, my good sir, a Vanillite.
Right. Actually, no, but he didn't get the boy though. I mean,
No,
did say
exactly. You
boy.
got 2 out of 3. He said Cinnabar Island. You
said
said
Cinnabar
Cinnabar
Island.
Island.
yeah, you
Yeah.
got Cinnabar
A
Island.
Vanillite, and you melted
You
and
melt-
caused Ash to slip and
You
break his neck.
melted,
Yeah.
What?
and someone walked and slipped and
Oh,
broke
sorry,
their
it
neck.
was
Oh my
Ash, yeah.
gosh.
We didn't even say anything about pushing
Isn't
into
that like
lava.
second-degree murder?
He didn't die. He's just paralyzed from the neck down.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you melted.
worse.
You melted.
jeez.
knowing
How did you
you-
get Vanillite?
Because you were saying
You
that
gotta,
like Carrie didn't like Vanillite
Right.
Yeah.
in the
That was
last
good clue.
episode.
How'd that feel, Dennis?
That was like it was weird. I was like playing like some sort of suspect, like trying to be like I don't know what you're talking about.
That's funny. We came with that Vanillite on Cinnabar Island,
Yeah.
melting, and someone slips.
So it was Cinnabar Island?
It wasn't
Yeah.
about.
Oh, cool. Because it was like I was like, oh, it could be, I don't know, like Mount Stark or something.
That was
from
the first
Family
offer I
Pro.
gave.
I think
Oh
I
my
said.
God.
I think I said Island.
Just from like between Oliver and Logan would only know like Gen 1
Yeah.
bit more as
But,
well.
yeah.
Do you want
that's
to do
fine.
like another round or?
No,
Nah,
let's
it's
hop
been
into
long.
the episode. It's a good
We'll
game.
jump
to
It's
play.
a
into
game.
dig those.
Diglett.
So actually,
Diglett.
Dexter's for all of you out there. We already did the beginning explanation while Dennis was out.
Yeah, we got about halfway through the episode.
What?
Yeah.
We should do the game.
So yeah, so there's somewhere
Did you actually?
just the beginning. Of the
Just
We
the
did,
beginning.
yeah, we did start the episode.
Just the map bit.
So yeah, the gang's lost in the mountain. And they're looking at this terrible map, and they're lost again. And they don't know which mountain to go over, and so they decide to hit the road.
Jack. And don't you
come
come
Back
back
no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
And now we stop. So after this,
What did you say?
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you?
and then
this
then
is going to become a thing for us.
after they hit the road,
Jack.
And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Hit the road, Jack.
And don't you come back
No more.
we cut to Jesse having Chinese food.
Yeah, the first like nationality mentioned,
Yeah,
I think.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and then James says, "Oh, it's tea and crumpets for me."
Yeah.
Get
What?
homesick, Harry.
I don't like crumpets. I don't like them.
But what about your date the other night?
What?
Sorry, I was trying to do like a sitcom burn.
You uncultured
I
swine.
wish I had a date the other night.
Oh.
Oh. Well, so team crumpets. Also, yeah, like Chinese food. What's China? Does China exist?
China does exist.
Well,
Okay.
at this point, the Kanto region is an actual region in
Yeah.
Japan. Still is, of course.
Yes.
There's an actual region in Japan, so
yeah,
one
and
could
South
just assume that this is in Japan.
South Africa is mentioned as well.
Yeah,
Right,
in
yes.
the games with Mew, that's where Mew is just first discovered. So
My
it's not-
my headcanon is that like maybe the names of the countries are the same, but the regions have
just
different
different.
names.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
That makes
Which
sense.
it's like, yeah. I mean,
But
it
then
works.
the Kalos region is pretty much all of France,
Yes.
yeah.
and Gala is pretty much all the UK,
Gala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Alola is pretty much all of Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
So
it kind of stops there, doesn't it? Really? But
Yeah.
I get your point. Yeah,
well,
I
you
hope they
know-
go back to Japan.
I
For
do
a
as
new
well.
region.
Yeah.
I want Australia.
Yeah, you know what? I think the movies as well. When they went like overseas, they kind of lost a little bit of something.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was, but like
I don't like seeing Ash on a plane. Stop flying.
come back.
Use your Pidgeot.
If they have an Australia region, it'd be so cool if New Zealand is like a little post-game area.
It's just like-
DLC.
It's just like a Stark Mountain type area. It's not even like the
yeah,
whole
New
thing.
Zealand's DLC.
Oh, my-
Here and catch
North
the fish.
Island, South Island. two
oh,
DLC.
it could be.
That's cool.
Is it North
There'd be a
Island or-
mower
Well,
Pokemon.
South
But then
Island
that would
to
just
actually
like
hook up with
further
a
make
cousin.
people think that New Zealand's just part of Australia.
Is it
Yeah.
not?
Oh, the Australia region. It would be called like Raelia. The Raelia
Raelia?
region.
Right, yeah. No, that's too close.
Is
What?
there a kangaroo?
What?
Is there a
Australia?
kangaroo Pokemon already, or a koala Pokemon?
Yeah,
It's a
Kangaskhan.
koala.
Yeah.
Kangaskhan.
Mm.
What Pokemon would you expect to be a starter if it's an Australian region?
A stingray.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Would you nickname it?
Steve.
Steve.
Oh my god.
There'd be so many bad
Oh,
memes.
I remember I don't know. Have we talked about it on podcast before? I remember where I was when I found out Steve-O when he
Same.
passed away.
I also remember.
Same. I was in the school library.
I was on the bus, like coming home, and just the radio was on, and I was the only one on the bus. It was like 4 p.m. because I
That's
lived
really
like
sad.
an hour away from school,
Jeez.
and like it was just like playing, and I was like, and I usually don't listen to it, but then I was like, wait, what?
I cried.
And then like I walked
Yeah,
home,
it
and
was
then
really sad.
I hadn't had really like, I was like, wait, what? I hadn't processed by the time I got home, and then it just took me a while to be like, oh my god.
You would have been in Australia at this time as well.
Yeah,
right?
I was.
You could easily do a good, like, if they did like an Australian Pokemon, like a good homage to.
Oh, for sure.
To
Yeah.
the Irwins,
To
because they're still.
Irwins.
The thing is, their legacy still lives
Just,
on.
I've been to the zoo quite a handful of
Really?
times. That's like an hour away from my
Yeah.
parents live.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
It's
So, like,
such a good place.
Yeah, and like the Steve's and what's his wife's name?
Terry.
Terry, that's
and
right.
Daughter Bindi,
Bindi.
And son
Yeah.
Robert.
Robert, who looks like almost
I'm-
like a
I'm
splitting
not a
image, splitting image of.
I got to
Steve.
meet Robert, which was nice.
Oh,
He was just
Really?
walking around. I was like, "Sup?" He was like, "Sup?"
cool. So yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did you know that
Yeah.
the Steve Irwin had a movie as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Crocodile Hunter.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah,
So
but a crocodile would be a good starter, like a little tiny alligator.
Oh
shark
my gosh.
Yeah.
as well for the water
Yeah.
type, maybe
Shark
a
could
shark.
be fun.
But
You
actually,
can-
a Stingray would be a good water type starter though, because is
Oh,
there
yeah.
Stingray Pokemon already?
Man,
Kind
time.
of,
Oh,
yeah.
I want a Tasmanian devil.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good
Tasmanian
starter.
Oh, that would be
Oh.
the fossil Pokemon, I reckon.
They're still
Oh wait,
alive.
no,
Cool
the
new
tiger.
There'll be a cool
Tiger
new
would be-
snake, spider.
Yeah.
Emu.
You could do
An
another
emu.
koala. You could do an
Oh my
emu.
gosh! Like,
Emu.
can you imagine riding like I don't know, like a flaming emu?
That'd be sick.
Nintendo, fucking do this.
Flaming
please.
emo.
Write
Emo.
it down.
Australia
Flaming
region,
emu.
please.
Because yeah, Australia has so many like animals.
So many animals, so yeah.
So
But what
many
yeah.
animals.
So many
Inside
deadly
of
animals.
me, so many animals, set them free.
It's a high
Hit the
five.
road,
Oh, yeah.
Jack.
I wasn't a high five kid. I don't know. Like
I was
play
Steps
school.
and 7-Up.
Wait,
I was High Five a band or a TV show?
TV show.
Both.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was Blue Peter. Okay.
they were like a Wiggles kind of competitor.
Ah.
No, they weren't a competitor.
What? What do you mean?
Nothing can compare to.
The
the-
fruit salad.
Fruit salad.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going a little
Yum,
off.
Yeah,
yum.
should we go back to
Um,
Pokemon?
Oh yeah, so they're eating Chinese and crumpets, and then
Alright.
there's a big blast,
That's right.
and
where
it
we came from.
destroys all of their food, and it also shakes up our gang.
Wait, is it
And
the
everyone wa-
shock?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big.
Oh, I
it's
thought
a,
they were just shocked by it and then
No,
they threw their food up.
It's a
or
big
something.
explosion
Oh,
that
okay.
shocks all their
Yeah.
food around.
Yeah.
And so everyone wants to go. Well, the gang just want to go find out what happened, and Team Rocket wants to go get revenge.
Revenge for their food.
That's just classic, I guess.
Can't blame them.
And then this is like Team Rocket when they're slightly better, when they're not trying to get Pikachu, I reckon.
Yeah,
I feel like when
Yeah,
they're
I
like
agree.
just losers trying to scrape by.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
fun-
a
it's
really
more fun
good-
to watch.
It was a
Yeah.
big episode for Team Rocket, this one.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And they just
I completely forgot what happens later on.
they're just like walking along, and then there's some big boy trucks.
Big boy trucks. We see
Getting
so many
towards
trucks. Diglett
there's a
hate
big
trucks, which is why we never see any trucks in the game besides one that you have to kind of go out of the way to find.
I don't know if that's the reason why we don't see
And there's
No, it's canon. That's the reason.
That's
there's
the
a
reason.
massive construction site for what we find out is
For
a
a dam. A Guyver dam.
Mm.
MacGyver.
I like how James thinks they're being attacked from aliens.
Hmm.
Another one.
Oh yeah,
He's a
there was
kooky lad.
the shot that I was going to talk about last episode that I really liked. That was in this episode is they're looking. There's just like a normal shot like of I think the trucks and stuff, and then suddenly it zooms into like it kind of closes in to look like binoculars.
Yeah,
And it's like
yeah.
them looking in.
It's really cool.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it
that
was
is
just a
cool.
cool little
Yeah. And
transition.
you hear the
Yeah.
Team Rocket theme come in.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, Team
This-
Rocket's almost so sad
yeah.
that there's like heaps of destruction and they didn't cause it.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's in this episode and the one before it, they don't really like do their motto in full as well. Which I
No,
thought was
yeah,
Not
last,
full,
no. It's
last
quite funny.
episode it was interrupted, and in this episode, Team Rocket's really depressed that they can't do anything.
They just want to
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
Can we? I just really want to take a moment to just kind of reiterate how hypnotic the Diglett thing is. Like,
Diglett.
trio.
When the Diglett actually speak, it sounds like a little child.
It's like Diglett. Or something.
Yeah,
Sounds
it
like a
sounds
baby.
Like
They
a
got like a
terrifying
so cute
ghost
voice.
kind of like in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so cute and like literally in my brain, 16 years. You just like
It's never gone.
I'm
wrong.
randomly just sitting somewhere and I'm like Diglett dig, trio. And even in the episode they
That's
kind of
horrifying.
mention how hypnotic it is.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we should say though, that with the trucks driving in to come and build the construction, they get attacked by the Diglett.
Yeah,
They do.
Come
They get
on.
wrecked.
They get destroyed.
Yeah, the
It's a
trucks,
massive
yeah.
pile up.
And there's
Yeah.
a I guess we call him like the foreman, the boss, is like crying how the Diglett keep destroying and stopping construction of the Great Guyver Dam.
With a very specific accent that I could not place. What would you say that accent was? It's like
I can't place it.
it was just like European.
It was like
European.
Yeah.
generic.
That's me. It's my
Yeah.
superhero name.
I just thought if this was like real life, then the way they would immediately just like try to flush out the Digletts and like pour water down them.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
did
is
they actually
the
do that?
Isn't that the plan with? I think that's why he wants to bring out Squirtle, isn't it? So he can like
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
flush them all out at one point.
Although that would drown them.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
Because they think the Diglett. Well, they're told that the Diglett are bad.
Mm.
The foreman tells them that they're bad, and apparently they've made like a team for like a special division for getting rid of Diglett, and they've called
Right.
them
Yeah,
trainers.
they've put out a call out for
Trainers.
they've like trying to get everyone to move out of
Yes.
No, they're trying to get the Diglett to get out of it.
yeah, they've made out like a public call for like assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they need Pokemon trainers to get rid of.
But
all
it's
the
like
Diglett.
it's pretty obvious to us though, straight from the beginning, that they're the bad guys.
Yeah.
And
It's Generipian.
yeah, and that the
The
Diglett
accent,
are
sorry,
um,
the accent's
Gay or
Generipian.
European.
What's
It's
Diglett,
true,
what's
Arctic
generic?
science.
Generic European accent.
Oh.
I just made that up, so
I like
trademark.
it. Sorry to interrupt. Please carry on.
Oh, it's pretty obvious I found it pretty obvious that the Diglett were going to be in the right.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like because after I watched these episodes in a row, I was like, oh yeah. It's interesting though, because it's like this episode, I think they use this plot line as a plot in Ruby and Sapphire in the Wishmer tunnel, because like that's a similar kind of thing that happens where like people want to kind of like do some work on the environment to
In
kind of
the Rockfoot tunnel.
yeah.
There's no Diglett.
No.
Yeah, but it's like the Pokemon are getting disturbed, and that's the reason why they decide not to follow through with it. And it's
Oh,
like,
you're right. Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
But then as the player, you finish the last couple of borders, so
Yeah.
the two levels can be united.
so yeah, it's like I guess the moral there is do stuff by hand, or I guess more
Do
of the
stuff
moral
by hand,
is to not impact the environment as
not
much.
impact the environment.
I'm jumping a bit ahead here, but it would be really funny if the episode ended with the Pokemon trainers. They all help out to get rid of the Digletts, and they all just like send out their Pokemon and just like faint all the Digletts.
Oh my
And then it's
God.
like, yay, we won.
That would
Everybody
be,
catch a Diglett.
But like there are some episodes where the Pokemon are the ones causing the mischief. So I guess
yeah,
like
like
this
the
is
Squirtle squad.
this is like a
Right.
reverse.
Watch your tongue.
But yeah,
mischievous.
so what happens next? So,
Then they're
What
like
happens next?
they're like, oh, you must be the first group of trainers to come in, and Ash is like,
yeah, sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
because like they
that's
get
us.
like a free 2-week stay, all paid
Right.
expenses to
Yeah,
like a
like a spa.
hot pool resort, which would be nice.
that's pretty
Would
nice.
be
Which
quite cool.
reminded me of Nestina's offer for getting rid of the Tentacool in the
$1
the
million
beauty.
compared to
Yeah.
a
Except,
6-day
like,
stay
yeah.
at a spa.
Yeah,
Actually, like Nestina, like actually was like a bad guy. This guy seemed like
he was trying to do his
seemed
job.
unaware.
yeah, he
he
was
was
just
doing
trying
his
to do
job,
his
yeah.
job,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
these Diglets were making it hard. So like you can
Yeah.
see where he was coming from,
Mm.
and he is a nice guy because we know later
Yeah,
on
He's
he
just
learns-
kind of kooky.
yeah, he learns his lesson.
Yeah.
But yeah, then all of the trainers show up, and we finally see
Dun,
Gary!
dun, dun, dun.
Gary.
It's
It's like
just-
his
Gary,
first
Gary, he's
time.
first
He can do
non-banned
it, no one
episode.
can.
Right?
Yeah, which is crazy.
His
Yeah.
first time we actually properly run into him. without
Episode
being banned.
30.
The first time that Misty and Brock meet Gary as well, right?
Oh, they would meet
Yeah.
him in the band episode.
Oh, that's
Wouldn't
right.
so
yeah.
many kids have watched this episode not knowing who Gary was?
Probably.
So if you missed the first episode, you wouldn't know.
That's true.
Oh, but
Well, he had the cameo in Squirtle Squad as well.
if you played the
Yeah,
games
very
as well,
little.
you
Yeah,
would
very
still
little
be
games.
Very
Squirtles?
little.
Yeah, barely.
There'd
Like,
be
he
a
just
lot of
looks like
people
Gandalf.
that are just
Yeah.
like, who's this?
I don't
Why
know
do
though,
they
because
know
you
each
play
other?
the games and you know who Gary is.
Not everyone played the games. You know?
Yeah,
a lot of
if you
people would
were
have been
just- if you were
introduced
just,
through.
yeah, in the
I
anime.
guess he's more blue than Gary. They're vaguely different characters.
They are.
Yeah.
And then Gary comes in with a whole bus of trainers with him
It's
and his own
concubines,
personal
yeah.
fan club. Yeah, I think they are. They are like he's hired those women, right?
No, they're fangirls.
Okay, but
they're
then
groupies.
Brock is like, ooh, like, would any of you girls be interested, like, in me?
Group.
And they were all like, yeah! And he makes a comment how he thinks they're old, and I was like, oh, they probably just want, like, a sugar daddy.
Can I get your number or your
yeah.
address, email?
Yeah, that's what I was watching it with April, who was guest starred in the episode. And we were both just like, oh, they want, like, a sugar daddy from Bro.
They do, yeah, because they call him an old man.
Yeah.
In the Japanese version, I think it's a similar kind of thing where they like, you're an old man.
He's really not. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Gary has this whole like
Hopeless
fan
romantic.
club with him. He roasts.
Yeah.
Ash calls him the worst trainer from Pallet Town.
Well, yeah, he calls
Yeah.
him the
Like the
fourth
fourth,
to leave.
yeah.
Yeah.
That plot line of like
It's carrying on
the
which
order.
is
Yeah, they
interesting.
just keep bringing it up.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Shame we don't see the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Three.
that is really sad.
Two.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
dingus.
is sad that we don't see the other two. That would be interesting to meet them.
I want to know which one got which Pokemon.
I was so excited to see.
To see Gary's Pokemon. Yeah, it was a big carrol dangling, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Carrot dangling.
And then
Carol baskin.
So Gary's kind of just like, yeah, you watch out. Like I'm gonna do this, and then and he throws his Pokemon at a Diglett, and it doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon not coming out with the Pokemon.
Yeah, the Pokemon are standing in alliance with the Diglett.
Yeah, and then
For
Gary throws another one
the
and even
protest.
kisses it. He kisses the Pokeball. He's like,
For
"This is my best Pokemon." Doesn't
3
come
kisses.
out. And the Diglett like even brings back the Pokemon.
Gary's like, thank you. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then like hundreds, all of the trainers, hundreds of them just start throwing Pokeballs.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you just basically lost. Like I don't know how this Diglett knew.
I don't know how the Diglett knew.
But you just lost your Pokemon forever. if you
Diglett are
threw into
very
that
good
bar.
at like sensing, I
Yeah,
guess.
they got good sense of scent.
But yeah, that was yeah.
You know, one of the things I've noticed in this episode is hands are hard to draw. Like,
Yeah.
there is a lot of characters with their hands and fists, like when they're walking and stuff,
Ah.
Yeah.
or like just like standing neutral with their hands
Yeah.
and fists.
I didn't notice.
And like at one point there was someone that had hands and they were just like pointy, like little like potato wedges.
That's right.
And like hands are really hard to draw, so I
know
don't
that.
I don't
I know
admonish
that,
them for
yeah.
that. So it was just an interesting observation. It's way easier to draw a fist.
But yeah, while oh, that's right. And then while this is going on, Team Rocket is spying on them. This is the cool part of the episode. And James is just like, "Oh, we could do this, but our plans never work."
No.
And he
Yeah.
gives up. And then Jesse's like, "Oh, what if we do this?" And James is like, "It never works."
Yeah. Poor Team Rocket.
And
Yeah.
they diss,
How are we gonna beat all those
they
trainers
diss
with
Ekans
coughing
and
Ekans?
coughing as well. They're just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, they're so useless."
Oh,
I mean, they are.
And then they is that when they mention about
mention Plan B.
Yeah.
which
Which is
is
induced
evolution,
evolution.
which is actually a really interesting concept for
Yeah.
Team Rocket, especially to bring up.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like what Thingy did with Raichu. When he
Lieutenant
Yeah.
Surge.
And
Yeah.
it's also
Boss ass bitch.
it's also it's also a plot line in Gold and Silver
Is
with
it?
the Gyarados, the shiny Gyarados.
Right.
With
yeah.
the whole like a rage. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
They're
also
forcing Magikarps to evolve.
yeah, and like Team
Ah.
in this episode we see Team Rocket trying to do it, but then they're kind of just like, actually no, we change our minds. We
Yeah.
like them the way they are.
Yeah, and then they evolve.
And
And
that-
that love.
The love of them and the tears dropping on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
'cause
evolve.
yeah,
They
because
evolve.
in
I remember loving that as a kid
Yeah, 'cause
watching that.
in Island
It's
of the
cute.
Giant Pokemon, they took like Ekans and Thingy. I think kind of like talk about how maybe Ash, how the two trainers don't really like love them that much.
Yeah.
So I think it's the
They
final
do.
admittance of like love and
Oh.
caring
So-
That's all
that
that
makes
needed to
Ekans and
evolve.
Coughing be like, "We'll evolve for you."
From here on out, they're no longer Ekans and Coffins. They're now Arbok and Weezing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Weezing is probably one of my top 6 favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
Do you use a Weezing in Sword and Shield?
I use it.
The
a few
top
times,
hat?
Yeah.
Do you do you prefer Top Hat
no.
Weezing? Or...
I prefer Top
No?
Hat. I prefer
the
Top
OG
Hat by
Weezing's
my-
fantastic.
I prefer Top Hat.
I like the top hat. Don't get me wrong.
Oh no, but it's just better.
It's no, you're
Because
wrong.
it's the same design, except now they've got fancy
It
hats.
has 2 giant bombs on its head.
Yeah. It was really cool seeing like I think I remember seeing this
big
power up
hats.
and being like, oh, they're
Good
gonna
sir,
house
that's what they do. Coughing.
They knew the
Weezing.
forums.
They got their pinkies up while they do
They engage with the forums.
Child, please, news from the
It's,
forums.
it's interesting that the Weezing lore in Galar. So it's from like pollution within Galar, which is
Yes.
kind of leads back to the industrial revolution
Yeah.
in the UK. and that the Weezing are actually pumping out clean gas
Yeah.
compared to the
Yeah.
other
So it's
Weezing,
like-
which are dirty guys.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
the point,
it's
yeah.
a
Yeah.
comment on the some environmental aspects. Like you have Corsola,
Oh, so sad.
who's like
Sad.
Coral.
the Galaran variant of Corsola is like dead,
Ghost.
dead
It's a ghost.
reef.
It goes from a
But-
rock water Pokemon to a ghost Pokemon.
But even better than the actual.
Where it
Pokemon.
literally just dead.
What and
yeah.
one and then is it Shield? There's just no the Pokemon. There's no. Oh my god, the sword. It's swordy one.
Farfetch.
Farfetch. There's no Farfetch because
And-
they've all been hunted to extinction.
Mm.
Oh, is that? Oh,
Isn't that
yeah.
kind of the lore?
Yeah.
And the Leaks are just around, but like no Farfetch.
That does make sense.
That's
Oh.
how I read it. That's how I read into
Oh,
it. That's why
geez.
there's no Farfetch. They've all been killed.
I like in Alola in Gen 7, the Marini and Corsola feud.
Yeah.
So Marini feed on Corsola.
They
Oh my
eat
gosh.
Corsola,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like an invasive species.
Yeah,
And
invasive
the only
species.
way to catch one.
You need to have seen a Corsola first in the
Yeah.
fishing spot, and then fish again to get a Marini.
Really?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Corsola.
that's cool.
You can do. There's a whole thing in the mechanism in Gen 7 where they call in Pokemon to help in battles. Like a single battle can turn to a double battle, and a Corsola can call in
that's
another
right.
Corsola,
That's right.
and then after a few times of that, a
Like a
Corsola can
Marini.
call in a Marini.
Marini.
So it like comes to eat it.
That's
Oh,
right,
and
that's
it
right.
attacks the Corsola, or
Or maybe.
that's
Oh,
so good. I love it when they kind of like add like.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool, but
elements
it's the
like
only
that.
way you can get a goddamn Marini.
It's
in
the
the
only
game.
way to get
Yeah, that
one.
Yeah.
sounds annoying.
Mhm.
That's probably why I never caught one.
They're really good though. Toxapex is a bitch.
That's
online.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should play those games, Logan. I think you've played Sun and
No,
Moon.
I haven't played Sun Moon.
Oh, I have like Sun here that I've never played.
There's so many Pokemon
I have
games you haven't
Moon.
played.
I
Logan.
played
You should
Moon, but I have Sun. so
It'd be
I can
cool to
borrow it.
like if they have found a way to make it so you could just put like a cartridge, like the cartridge into the Switch.
Eventually.
Oh, I heard that there was like a rumor that there would be like a Pokemon Super Collection or
Yeah.
something.
I saw that rumor.
Oh, that'd be cool because I'd probably get it because like I haven't really played all those earlier games.
Yeah.
So I'd probably be
I've played them all and
I
I'd
just
buy
want
it.
to play the
I mean,
games on my
I wouldn't
TV.
mind just getting it to play Pokemon Sapphire on a Switch.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
It would be fun,
Yeah.
and I could stream it as well.
And
And
I
I could
prob-
all
it'd be
play
sick to
Pokemon
do-
Emerald together,
Yeah.
and like Sapphire and Ruby.
Mm.
That'd be so fun.
And we all did what's that game where the mode where you every Pokemon
Nuzlocke?
dies?
Pokemon
Yeah.
Unite.
we
Oh my
all
God,
did
Nuzlocke.
Nuzlocke runs. That'd be
Yeah.
I love
hilarious.
a good Nuzlocke.
Nuzlocke runs are so fun.
Yeah,
So Weezing and Arbok.
yeah.
Using an Arbok.
I was like always I didn't really get a grasp of their power level in this episode because they get beat up
They
off
get beat up
screen.
pretty quickly. Yeah.
So I really I need to see
But
like
the best thing about Arbok is Arbok's cry.
yeah.
Arbok looks
iconic.
really. I've never liked Arbok before.
He
but it
looks-
looks really cool.
He
So
looks cool
cool.
in this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, it looks
I want
really
Arbok
cool.
to get
I want to
same
use an
form.
Arbok
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then oh yeah, so after Gary realizes that like nothing's gonna happen,
They leave.
he leaves with his fan club.
Yeah.
Concubines.
Oh, I just want to mention when Gary sends out his Pokeball and you see the red light come out of it before going back in. I want to say that I think it was going to be
Do you know his? Are you going to say one of his Pokemon that he actually has?
maybe.
You didn't
I
spoil it.
don't want to be
Don't spoil
spoiled.
it.
I don't want to
Don't
be
spoil it.
spoiled for his Pokemon.
Well, do we want to? Would you want to guess what maybe it could have
I've got
been?
no clue.
Okay. Do you have
Maybe he grabbed Charmander.
Okay.
What do you think, Oliver?
I've got
Out of
no-
the starters,
Just one of the two Pokemon he sent out.
Yeah.
I'd guess. I'd guess he chose. I mean, he could have chosen any of the starters.
Hmm.
It's really.
Yeah, so which
So,
one?
Charmander,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I reckon he took Charmander.
fiery hot spirit. I don't know.
Yeah. Gary seems like he
yeah, he
chose
is.
Charmander.
Oh, I
Cheap.
just want to mention as well. James uses Caddy as a slur. He calls Jessie Caddy,
Meowth
and then
sounds
Meowth
right to
takes
the
a
spot.
offense.
yeah.
I thought that was a cute moment.
That was a cute
And then the
moment.
next
Yeah.
shot, you see James' face is in plasters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ah.
Really good. Yeah.
That's
They're
funny.
they're very charming. Whoever storyboarded this episode really like Team Rocket.
Also, Team Rocket are reading an instruction manual when they're before Ekans and things evolve,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh, it says they need a certain amount of experience,
Experience.
but
That's
we
right.
always lose."
They always like black out and wake
Yeah.
up at a Pokemon Center.
Yeah.
Do you think if Ash and Misty and Brock, if they lost all their Pokemon, they'd just get sent out flying into the air and wake up at a Pokemon Center or something?
Maybe that is what happened. That's actually a cool thought. If Team Rocket just keeps getting sent back to a Pokemon.
Like once
They're
in, they're like,
reset.
"Damn it!"
Sense.
Yeah.
But then, the power of induced evolution was just through love.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That
And
was
then we
really
also
nice.
figure out that after all the Pokemon stop working, the foreman guy starts trying to do whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole and the
Yeah.
Diglets.
Oh, we haven't talked about that guy yet.
Oh.
There's a guy who's working on the dam.
Yeah,
He's so funny.
Yeah, the generic European.
yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Oh, sorry.
And then you hear him. And that's when we figure out that I think Brock says it's useless or something because
Oh, Gary mentions it.
Oh yeah, because they
Yeah.
move at the,
The
speed
speed
of
of
light.
light.
Yeah.
Which
what?
is insane.
Gary,
That's-
Gary, goddamn, he, what's the word?
He, like,
he
nerd,
recites the
Yeah.
actual speed of
Yeah.
light.
He's like,
Yeah.
technically,
Yeah,
they're
what
not
a
technically
nerd.
they're not a bug Pokemon. They're like
yeah.
blah,
More like
blah,
a
blah,
mole
blah, blah.
They're
Pokemon.
like 0.8 inches, and they're a mole
Yeah.
Pokemon, and the ground was happy.
Yeah.
And they move at the speed of light.
It's,
He's a big nerd.
in the games,
nerd.
Dugtrio is like quite a speedy Pokemon.
Yeah, it is. It's like the 7th fastest Pokemon. Or
Very,
something.
very fast.
Very
What's
true.
the fastest Pokemon?
In the original
Speed
game, it's
Deoxys.
Aerodactyl.
What's the second?
In the original game, it's Aerodactyl.
What's the second big?
Electrode. in
What's the
original
third?
game. Jolteon.
What's the fourth?
I
The
think,
Cellgor's up there.
Dodrio.
Oh my gosh.
What's the fifth?
I don't know.
What's
Oh.
the sixth?
I don't know. Dodrio.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up.
Okay.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good. It was pretty, no, I'm impressed with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Number one. No, you were quite wrong.
No, from the original
From the
game, you
original.
dingus.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned one that's up there.
Oh.
Number one, which doesn't kind of count. Deoxys speed form.
Oh,
Oh
makes sense.
yes.
Number two. So what do you guess?
Um.
Out of all the Pokemon, what do you think is fastest?
Snorlax.
Pikachu.
Apart from Deoxys. Out of all Pokemon,
Oh,
Snorlax.
I don't know.
Ninja.
Trick Room. Oh, Ninjask is
Ninja.
really fast.
Oh yeah,
Ninjask.
Ninjask is quite speedy.
Trick Room. Shuckle.
I mean,
Speed of like 5. Yeah, it's the fastest.
yeah, right. And then Pheromosa.
Ah.
Oh
and
yeah.
then Electrode is the fourth.
Oh,
Diglett,
okay, so it's
Mankey.
Electrode of Aerodactyl. I
Is
got
it
that
good,
wrong.
the big
Yeah.
yellow thing
Yeah.
with the black?
Electrode.
Electrode's the Pokeball.
Oh.
The evolved.
What Pokemon? am
You were
I
thinking
thinking?
Electabuzz.
Electabuzz.
He's like.
Do we meet an Electabuzz soon?
Yeah,
That's
eventually.
Electabuzz's
Like
cry.
that guy from
It's
the
an
Simpsons.
amazing episode.
You're gonna.
Electabuzz.
He's like.
All right, Richard
All
Nixon.
right. So
There you
what happens?
Okay. Oh, the trio are in a hot spring,
Yeah, they're just
and at
acting.
first it looks like because in Japan you go to a hot spring and you're nude,
Right.
Oh.
or like in the bathing environment.
I did think they were nude.
But I
first.
think in both of the versions they kind of mentioned that they're in bathing suits. or
If they stand
something.
up and you see
Yeah.
that they're wearing.
But it's funny because Ash and Brock are kind of just like, this is the life. Like, they're like, we can't do anything about the Diglett, so let's just relax. And then Misty's like, so what about the Diglett? And they're like, oh yeah, we should probably do something.
These are our protagonists. They encounter
Yeah.
a problem and then they just go mess around for the
I
next half of the
respect that.
episode.
And then
Yeah, Misty's a boss ass bitch.
Well, like Ash asks Pikachu, like, Pikachu, do the Pokemon just want to help the Diglett? He's like, Pika.
yeah, and then doesn't a Diglett show up and they
Points up
start?
to a Diglett,
Yeah.
and we see a bunch of Diglets, and Pikachu starts running after the Diglets.
Yeah,
So the
and they're
trio
all
make haste.
holding like
Leaves and
plants
such.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
ants. It's quite
They're
cute.
like contributing to the
Yeah.
environment.
Well, I wonder if Diglett's like
Trio,
underneath
trio,
like
trio.
the dirt and stuff have like ant colonies.
Oh, that's
Oh.
ew. You're making me imagine like
What?
the bottom parts
They
with
just
like
got, like,
ant
little
legs.
legs.
or
What do
something.
we think the
Ugh.
bottom part of Diglett could be?
Well, that would make
Little
sense though if
mole.
they've got
A
like an
mole?
ant-like
Yeah.
colony
Ew,
underground.
no, they're just like cute little furry things with like little paws.
They're
and
like little moles.
Holes.
paws.
Yeah, but like I
Yeah,
imagine they
like
live
little-
like an ant-like colony underground.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like moles and stuff do live like ants. Like they have like
Underground.
tunnels underground.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, what I wonder is like, what constitutes a Doug trio versus a Diglett? Like, how does?
Maybe it's like
You
one
see that
body.
they're bigger,
Yeah.
and that maybe they're formed underneath.
Is it-
together.
Or is the Doug trio like maybe an anglerfish and it's connected to a giant like thing underneath the ground? That's kind of weird.
Fuck.
That would cause earthquakes and like
Yeah.
mess up the tectonic plates.
Or maybe it's like
Yeah.
three hot guys just kind of cuddling together.
Yeah,
Have you
we've
seen
all
that
seen the
meme?
meme. We've all
meme.
seen the
We've
meme.
all seen
Yeah.
Well,
Wait,
I
that
haven't seen
meme.
the meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
I'll,
meme?
I'll Google it.
Put it up. Put it up on the screen right now.
Oh my gosh,
oh, look,
we're
it's
not gonna-
floating around.
Oh
Whoa,
my
it's
gosh.
flying
What's over
around.
there?
Whoa.
Actually, it's the
here.
meme. What's it called? Doug
That was
Trio.
over there.
Doug trio,
Up here.
like bottom half
Oh
or
my
something.
I get
How
it.
is it
It's
split
good.
in half?
Oh.
Good
You
fun
found it?
editing that.
Oh yeah.
No, it's
Lord,
it's Hanson.
that's like a meme of like the Alolan
That's
Doug
funny.
trio.
That's really
Oh my God.
funny.
This is really great for a medium where it's just a podcast.
There you
Is
go.
it this
Okay,
one?
yeah, you found it. Just Google
Doug
Doug
Trio
we'll
meme.
show the
Yeah.
photos.
Doug
We'll
Trio
show the
meme.
photos.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
the
This is a 3D model.
If you're listening to an
someone's
audio
put together.
version, pretty much, yeah, it's just a photo.
I mean, even if you watched it, you couldn't see. Oh well, you
Yeah, we're
could.
gonna
We'll
show.
show
We're
it.
gonna put
Okay,
it-
It's a
okay.
photo
No,
of
you're
three-
editing it, flying around.
It's,
Oh
a,
my
it-
God.
it's
Did
a
the
video
whole
of
map.
three muscly men. It's like basically Diglets with a
Is that
If you-
is
if
that
you-
us?
mud chomp body.
If
Yeah.
you know
Fuck
Yu
the champ.
Gi Oh, it's the Ojamas.
Is that us for Halloween?
Oh my
Ojamas.
God.
The
Yeah.
Doug trio.
Nah.
You
Okay.
need to be muscular for that.
And then
I think we can do it.
And then so we figure out that the Doug trio and Diglett, they make like gardens.
Yeah,
and
they're
Yeah.
beautiful.
They have their
plant
place in the
forests.
ecosystem.
Yeah. And then the foreman somehow is there,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Well, if I've made
He's
so
like,
many
I'm gonna-
mistakes, I'm
He's
gonna."
like, the dam's cancelled.
I just
Yeah,
Does he
basically.
have the
Yeah.
power to cancel
he
the
he
dam?
realizes
Apparently.
the errors of his ways.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna destroy," because he's like, "Oh, if I finish the dam, this whole area would be covered in water, and all of the Doug trios and Digletts and all of the other Pokemon who live here would all die."
We see shots of
Oh yeah, some
the
Pokemon.
water. Like
Yeah.
if it were to
Oh,
happen,
yeah,
the
yeah.
dam, we see shots of like giant water, and then like Pokemon in the water,
Well,
like dying.
There was an early callback to that with when the explosions they were doing with the rocks, and we see a quick cut of a couple of Rattatas and Pidgeys.
Yeah,
running,
flying out of the
away.
forest because
So
of
we
an
already got
explosion.
like a little bit of an implant to that, and they show
That's
it
a
again. It
disturbance.
was really good.
Yeah.
But the
was very nicely
unfortunate realistic aspect of this is that the foreman will quit and they will just hire a new foreman and
Yeah.
carry on with construction.
Well, actually, though, do you know what happens though?
Well, the dam does
Well, I
break.
just-
Dam gets destroyed.
I want to mention briefly before we move on that it's interesting. Well, that like there's that idea of that Diglett working in a community environment, and like the idea of the greater good being
Greater
quite
good.
the greater good as part.
Hot fuzz.
Yeah, as part
Good
of
movie.
The greater good.
as part of like the greater good is better. The greater good is better
Found
than the
that
whole.
swan yet?
Which is like interesting because like in a lot of maybe more Western ideals, well, even at the time, children's media was aimed at more at like individualistic monomyth type stories. For example, like He-Man,
Master of the universe.
American
He has a team though, doesn't he?
I have
He-Man.
the
Yeah,
power.
but it's like centered more about
Johnny Depp.
like He-Man saving the world,
I'd
or like
say Johnny
Superman,
Test, but
Superman,
Johnny Depp,
Batman.
apparently.
Batman
Si-
has a team though.
Yeah, does he?
Robin,
That's right.
Batwoman,
Oh, yeah.
Alfred.
Yeah, but the idea is that like he's this man who kind of instigates this change
It's
or is
money.
affecting his surroundings versus
Powerpuff Girls.
that.
Jimmy
yeah,
Neutron.
yeah, like Jimmy Neutron's the genius that like kind of affects the world, and like the idea of like in this episode of Pokemon in particular that it's the group goals of the Diglett kind of creating this kind of greater environment or like working as part in these little like established roles, which I think is interesting and kind of like reflective of maybe like Japanese workplace kind of ideals. Well, partly reflected in that.
I mean, I think it's just what animals do.
Yes, to play on like
Yeah.
kind of ants.
This is what
Yeah,
ants
yeah,
do
it's
that
good.
underground, and squirrels build nests and birds build nests.
Yeah, I
Otters
say
build-
liberate the Diglett. Personally,
Free
they're
the dig.
stuck in the regime.
Free the lets.
Free the
There's
Free
probably,
the
there's
digs.
probably some radical
let's.
Diglets out there who agree
Radical
with who are like,
Diglets.
we need this dam so that we can be free.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like really, radical.
Is it
Diglett.
emo like Diglett? He's like, I want to see all the Diglets burn.
That's like a movie. It's like one Diglett wants to see what's beyond the colony.
You could be in a room of 100 Diglett, and it only takes one Diglett to believe in you to make a change in the
This
world.
over the edge to Diglett version.
over the hedge.
Over the ground.
But then Team Rocket come.
Yeah,
they
and they
try
have a gender reveal party
Yeah,
for
they-
their.
I really dug this because it was very kabuki theater.
Yeah, it was.
which
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed. It was so cool.
And it's nice. They're like happy and proud of their new Pokemon.
Yeah.
They're like, look at these new Pokemon
Yeah,
we got.
Arbok and Weezing
And
come
then
out.
they
yeah.
get destroyed by a big mud wave.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like so anticlimactic.
It was really unfortunate because Arbok was showing some sick skills
Mm.
against Pikachu. Or was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Pikachu, eh?
yeah.
And then Weezing smoked them all, and then the Digletts just. Well, they went underground, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they
And
made
the
this
Digletts
massive mud
just,
wave.
They made a
just
massive,
lynched
yeah.
them underground.
Yeah. And then there was a massive mud wave that carried Team Rocket into the
That's
dam.
right.
Yeah, they were kind
They
of
destroyed
surfing
the
a little
James
bit.
was saying, like, we're surfing.
Yeah, they're like,
Surfing
oh,
USA.
Hen-Ten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it destroyed. That's what destroys the whole dam.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like the whole.
Right.
The construction guy's like, "Ooh, I'm not gonna build this dam anymore."
Yeah.
That's the whole
Yeah.
episode.
That
whole
village
episode.
can just go without water, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a fine
Why do people build dams?
Well,
Power.
sometimes it's like
Power.
power.
power, and then I think originally it was so that like it would stop water like flowing into a certain area.
Yeah, it's like water
But like
control.
otters like build. Is it otters?
Beavers?
Beavers build dams.
Yeah.
So that they can like probably have like an area to
Like
like,
little beaver houses.
Oh, it's
Go
part
in.
of like so they kind of build their own habitat.
yeah, and they stop water from flowing
Yeah.
into certain areas so that you can start going into that
I
area.
think humans just wanted to one up the beavers.
Yeah,
We want
got
to show our
jealous.
they saw the
construction.
beavers and was
Yeah.
like, we can do better.
We can do better.
We
But
can't
yeah,
let these
and
be
yeah,
the dominant
nowadays,
race.
yeah, dams can be used for
species.
like water power. And stuff.
Yeah,
Damn
and
the
also
beaver race.
what is it like fishing, right? Like
Racist towards
No.
beavers.
sustainable
beavers.
fishing.
No one really uses dams for fishing. do they?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think it has to do with fishing.
okay.
That was
But yeah,
eh?
I
Those
really
dig-
liked this
those
episode.
Diglett dig.
Yeah, that was a
Diglett
good
dig,
episode.
trio,
Better
Really
than-
nice episode.
Better than
I,
the
The
last.
gang's on the way to Fuchsia City.
Yeah, that's where they're going, right? For a
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
The next episode
Oh, I don't know what it's called.
is called the Ninja Poke Showdown.
Ninja Poker Show.
I have a feeling.
Oh!
I think it's. Oh, it's gonna be because they're heading to Fuchsia City because that's where the next gym is. Right?
Hmm. Yeah.
What gym badge will that be?
That will be the number or the badge?
Number.
That'll be number
Five.
number 5.
And you need 7, right?
8.
The 8.
Yeah.
This was the battle for the soul badge, I believe.
Should we
Yeah.
do a little final thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
It's great.
Woo!
I'm very happy that Team Rocket finally have Weezer and Arbok.
Mm.
Yeah.
As much as I love Coffin and Eckings, Weezer and Arbok are just so much more iconic. And just have so much more potential.
Nice.
That was really like the big takeaway for me. And seeing Gary was nice again.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see the little asshole.
Mm.
I like his necklace.
Mm.
Oh, actually, yeah, I agree. I
like his
want his
necklace. That's always stood out to me.
Yeah.
But that's my final thoughts. It was a fun episode. I
Nice.
like Diglett's the cute. What's underneath? Who knows? Why are the noses red?
Why
Next.
are they red? My final thoughts for this episode is I think I really like Diglett and Dugtrio, and I would always catch a Diglett or Dugtrio when I was fighting
Surge.
Loot
Surge.
Surge
Yeah, everyone pretty
Like-
much did.
and in the Kanto games.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I think it was cool. They had some slapstick. The Diglett were very charming, and it was cool seeing Team Rocket's Pokemon evolve.
Mm.
It's dope. It would be nice to actually see like a Diglett's tunnel in this episode.
Mm.
Yeah, it
But
would have been cool. to
I was just
see
thinking about
the ecosystem.
how Diglett Tunnel is a really cool thing in the first games. How it takes you across the map.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it made me think about how Sword and Shield, the map is so just like, you're just heading in one direction. It's so
Yes.
bad. It's pretty lame.
Well,
Yeah, but there's
that's like a
things to look
design
at and
decision.
things to see. You take into context playing the old games. It's fucking empty.
Yeah.
I think
There's nothing-
it's
And I guess in like you
different.
can you have the whole wild area. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
like
Yeah.
in the wild area, like you can go in a straight line. But when we all played in the same room that day when
Yeah.
it came out, we went all around in
That
a
was
massive
awesome.
circle back and forth. in the
Exploring that
wild.
I
for the
was at
first
work.
time with a group of people was amazing.
Yeah.
If only I was there.
I think it's definitely a design philosophy change as well, because there's the idea of backtracking
Yeah.
that I think the newer games they want to shy away from a little bit.
All the games are super linear nowadays as well.
Yeah.
I think it since Gen 2, where after the third gym you can literally do any gym from 4, 5, 6, 7 in any order you wanted,
Yeah.
which then damaged the level scaling for the game.
Right.
So I think after they realized
They got
that,
bad
they kind of
reception from
realized
that.
that we kind of need more of a linear
Yeah,
version of
in
this game.
in Ruby and Sapphire in the Hoenn and Sinnoh games, they try and play around with the linearity, but it's mainly in the way of like you can go a different route to get back to
Yeah.
like this other gym or something,
Yeah.
Mm.
and it's not really as explored as much.
Mm.
And like I don't know why they don't like look at level scaling to like kind of help minimize that a little
I think they
bit.
played around with that with a bit of the DLC.
They did a bit of
Yeah.
DLC.
So
with
maybe
level scaling.
maybe they're just seeing what reactions to level scaling
Mm.
were like
Which
for
is good.
this, and then they easily could, because I think that would save I think that would save Pokemon, because Sword and Shield was too easy. But
Yeah.
if Sword and Shield
Yeah,
had
until the champion fight.
yeah.
if Sword and Shield had
That's still easy.
if Sword and Shield had level
Champion
scaling,
fight.
like
So-
and like it just matched your Pokemon's level or matched your thing, it would have been
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Well, one of the things I think is that like they're like, well, the story is for everyone, but the competitive is more for maybe like older
The story's
people.
bad though.
Yeah, but like if you
I
had
know. I like Sword and Shield
but
story.
if you had level scaling, that story probably would have been way more interesting because it
Yeah.
would have been way harder.
Yeah, I think execution was the main problem for
The
the
issue is
Galar
just turn the
story.
goddamn EXP share off.
Yeah.
Why is
Yeah.
it all constantly?
Yeah.
Why are the candies?
We've gone a little off course here.
Yeah, sorry. Final thoughts.
My
guys.
final
Yes.
thoughts. I really liked this episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was really fun. I loved the guy with the beard who worked for the dam,
Mr.
making the
Foreman.
dam. He kept
Oh, damn, man.
crying and
Damn,
like
man.
going on about it, and there's lots of close-up shots of his face. I thought he was hilarious. I thought he was really funny. Yeah, and I loved all the evolutions. Seeing Gary, this is like a really good episode in my book.
Yeah, I thought this
Really
episode
liked
was good as well.
Yeah.
Hey, I enjoyed it for some reasons. The evolutions was sick. The Gary, thought was really cool. I was disappointed though when Gary's Pokemon didn't get.
Still gotta wait.
How long do I have to wait?
Quite a while.
Oh,
So
you have to
disappointed.
wait 30 episodes to see him.
Yeah.
roll.
I just wanna
You
know-
gotta wait till the next season.
It's quite a while.
Oh my.
Alright.
But yeah, it was pretty good. It was definitely like it was like a nice like building up from like
Yeah.
the previous episode.
Really.
I was half expecting him maybe to catch
A Diglett.
Diglett.
It would be
Dugtrio,
cool to see him catch Dugtrio.
because he doesn't really have a groundy Pokemon.
How many Diglett digs would you give it out of 5?
4 Diglett digs out of
Yeah, 4.
5.
I'd give it 3.
Oh, that'd be 3
3 and a half.
Yeah,
I
3
give
and a
it
half.
4. I really liked it.
Diglett dig,
It is?
Diglett dig,
Trio,
Diglett dig,
trio,
dig.
Yeah, it was a good episode though.
Yeah.
It's interesting how I've just noticed how pretty much every episode is centered around like a new Pokemon to
Yeah,
them.
that's good. Eh?
So eventually they're going to run out of Pokemon.
You'd think so.
But they just keep
Oh
making
no, there's over 900.
Yeah.
There's over 500 Pokemon.
Yeah.
What the fire truck?
Yeah.
Smosh song.
Smash reference.
You're welcome.
But yeah,
Yeah, great episode.
Yeah.
what's
Okay,
next?
yeah.
Which Pokemon's next?
The Ninja Poke Showdown.
Ninja
Whoa.
Poke
Is that
Showdown.
about
Is-
is it about Greninja?
Yeah, from 1999. Sure.
Yes.
What is the Ninja Pokemon encounter? Find out next time.
On the
Dex
Dexperience.
Experience.
If you're
Thanks for
listening
watching.
in
Thank you
the
so much for
day,
watching
hope you have a good
and
day.
listening.
And if you're listening in the evening, have a good night.
Thanks,
Good night,
Dexters.
Good night.
Bye.
Don't let the Sandman come and get you.
Diglett dig, Diglett
Man, I was
dig.
just
Trio,
going-
trio, trio.
Experience. Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes too.
Experience. Digimon.
Dexperience. If you're watching during the day, have a good day.
Dexperience.
Have a good night.
Dexperience.
Live your dreams.
Dexperience.
Everything you could want.
Experience.
Everything